We never can't not do nothing, and today we will show how to service a bicycle. It sounds very in general speaking, but that's the point of this video. What I hear a lot is people asking me about problems with their bicycles, and when I explain what I think it is and how it is fixed, they say like, okay, but I'll see with a mechanic to do it. You have experience, you know that I'm not very experienced, and so on. And the point of this video is to make me look even more stupid than usually, and to show how for fixing bicycles we have now a practical example. It often takes some figuring things out, and not even experienced mechanics, if I call myself like that, have it all figured out and know how to do it right away. We also have to do some figuring out and deducing and eliminating different possibilities and problems. So now let's get on with this bicycle. This is from a friend of mine, my friend's bicycle, and he said that he's got some problems with his front derailleur. And before I even look at that front derailleur, whenever I fix bicycles, because it's all connected, I try to see what the rest of the bike is like. Are there any problems with the frame, with any other bearings, and if something else needs fixing. Here, for example, we have some play in this bearing, so if tightening it doesn't help, we would have to replace the bearings to make it work. But that's not to take too much time from this video. Here I'm interested in the drivetrain, and if there are some problems with the drivetrain, I look at the frame. If there are any problems that there's some breaking or cracks on the frame. It usually looks like a hairline crack, and I want to eliminate any problems of that sort. So I will look around the whole bicycle, make sure it's all good. Then I wish to see about the rear wheel. Are the bearings okay? Is there any play? And does it turn normally? It's not directly related to the front derailleur, but it can cause problems. And here I see that the brake is stopping the bike. It's not configured properly, so that will need taking care of. And while I'm at it, I might even check on the spokes to see if there are any broken spokes. And here the spokes are quite loose. They need tightening, and you see how much. But also I don't expect that to be causing these kinds of problems. But it's good to generally take a look at your bicycle and see if it's roadworthy or if there are any problems. I want to see if the tire is scratching on the mudguard somewhere, and this seems okay and good clearance. Okay, now let's take a look at the derailleurs. Before I start working with the front derailleur, I want to make sure that the rear derailleur is working fine. Sometimes rear derailleur can cause some problems and complications for the front derailleur's functioning. And it's best to make sure that nothing else is wrong on the bicycle when you're working it. Here I see one problem, that the rear derailleur is staying too close to the largest chainring, and you can now see how it has problem coming down. It's hitting the sprocket, and to fix that I will use this B screw, tighten it a bit to push the rear derailleur further away. I think this is enough. Let's give it a try. Okay, this looks a lot better. Now I am fairly certain that any problems with the front derailleur will be connected to the front derailleur itself or with the shifter or cables. I've eliminated other possible problem causes. Well, not all. I want to check for any play in the bottom bracket, because it would cause the front chainrings to move sideways and perhaps hamper proper shifting. And I also wish to see if they have any dents, so they don't not all the way around, but have some sort of like a bent wheel that wobbles, not caused by the bad bearings but by bent chainrings. And this looks okay. I want to take a look at this chainring as well, so I'll shift into another gear to get the the chain off of it and to see if it moves sideways. This looks fairly well. Okay, we eliminated that as well as a possible problem cause. Now the front derailleur. First thing that I do when I'm fixing the derailleurs is to check on the limit screws. Does it move far enough on the inside and on the outside? Does it move too much? So I'm shifting to the largest rear sprocket, and now I wish to see if this gap is okay. If the derailleur is not pushing against the chain now, scratching it. No, this looks fine. Okay, so for now I'll call this okay and shift to the largest small sprocket. And try to shift into the largest front one. Here I already have a problem. It won't go. And it feels on my hand as if the cable is not moving very easily. There might be some damage or friction in the housing or in the cables. Now I can feel on my, when I work the lever, the shift lever, that this goes with great difficulty. So it could be a problem with the housing or with the cables. And this one has inside routed cables, which makes things a lot more fun to route. Let's check here. This is the front derailleur cable going inside the frame, and let's see where it comes out. Here below. Let's see which one it is. This one. Okay, does it move? It's all the way in, it seems, all the way through, and it's not a shifter cable but a brake cable. I'll link a page from my website that explains the difference, so that should cause some imperfection in shifting, but for the front derailleurs that have a lot of movement, it should not cause many problems. And so I'm now trying to see what about the cable. It seems that it cannot move outwards enough, and it's probably because of the high limit screw is set too conservatively. And let's see if it's hitting the derailleur, and try to unscrew it by one turn first, which is very liberal amount. It will probably be too much, but let's see how it goes. Okay, a bit better, but still not enough. Let's give it one more turn, because I can hardly get the shifter to click on it. Half a turn, another half a turn. Okay, let's see now. Now I can feel it clicking and shifting in position. And I would further loosen this. Let's see. No, it's not the shifter. It's not the limit screw. You can see I can move it by hand far enough. Some other problem exists here. I'm putting it back, moving this by hand to see if I can move it far enough. Okay. It seems that my first assumption was wrong. This happens often to many mechanics. At least I think so, at least to me. And the other problems that I see here is this rough movement of the shifter. And now my main suspect are the shifter cables and housing. They must be already rusty or worn. Maybe the cable is frayed inside somewhere in the mechanism or in the housing. And another thing that I noticed is that the front derailleur is staying very high. There's too much space between the front derailleur and the largest chaining, so it should be placed a bit lower, and probably cables and this and housing need changing, and then we will probably get it to work. Another thing that would probably help is to lubricate all the pivots. And so that would be my first thing to do when I'm trying to fix this problem. Most other bicycle related problems are similar, and everything is open and connected, and you can use common sense, simple logic, deducing things, eliminating possible problems, and get to the point that needs fixing or replacing. So it's nothing to be afraid of. You cannot make things more broken in general if you use any normal caution and common sense. But if you start figuring things out and working on your bicycle, you will get more experience and more confidence to tackle even more complex problems. And so I think it's a good thing that you should give it a try, not be afraid, and fix your own bicycles. You do not have to be a professional bicycle mechanic to fix a bicycle. It's a relatively simple machine, and it feels great working on your bicycle. It's like Zen-like, meditative, and not just about saving money or saving time while waiting in bicycle shops, in queues and so on, but it's about being able to fix any problems that you might have on the road sometimes, so that you can go wherever you want with bicycle and get more freedom. That's at least my philosophy and my advice, so go for it. And thank you for watching this boring video where I mostly talk in Tarzan English, and cheers.